Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar's 5th anniversary season. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer at jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And not to mention, if you're listening to this on our audios, listen to this episode and more episodes, and please subscribe and give me a 5-star rating, please, and thank you. I am thrilled to welcome back this incredible performer as our latest guest on my 5th anniversary season. She's an actor, comedian, writer. You may have well seen her on America's Got Talent season 16 when she's a finalist. She's also the star of Dashing Through the Snow, starring Little Ray Howie and Ludacris. So please help me welcome back to this podcast, Gina Brillon.
The crowd goes wild. Hi, it's nice to be back.
Gina, it is so good to see you. I can't believe it's been 3 years.
Me either. 3 years. Wow, so crazy how much time just flies by. Like it just goes like this so quickly.
I know, and over the past 3 years, I follow you on Instagram, so I'm so proud of all the growth that you have gone through.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a crazy but fun and wonderful ride.
Alrighty, guys, for those of you who haven't listened to the podcast before, Gina and I first spoke when she auditioned for America's Got Talent season 16 way back in 2021. So, Gina, it has been 3 years since we last spoke. So, how have you grown as a performer?
I've seen a lot of growth in different areas. And as far as stand-up comedy, my life has changed over the past 3 years between, having a baby and becoming a mom over the pandemic, and my son is now 3 years old, so, I'm going through the, growing pains of toddlerdom. Uh, Aside from that, which provides plenty of stories and material. So a lot of the material has just been what my life has been for the past 3 years, which is just this growth as a person, growth as an artist, and it's taken me to places and had me unpack things that I never talked about before, like, what it's like to be raising a child in today's climate with how differently we're handling and looking at parenting now and kind of the perils of that. And, I got to do a movie and there's other projects coming down the pipeline. So it's been a very busy, wonderful, creative time for me.
Awesome. I'm so proud of all that you've done. And I got to give a shout out to my 3-year-old nephew, Nash, because Nash is 3 years old. So it's an amazing time. So, anyway, I got to say this. How did AGT help you prepare for the next chapter of your career?
I really think AGT helped me prepare for this next chapter of my life because the pressure was so incredibly high. And, you think I don't know if I can handle this pressure, and I feel like I really went through that pressure like a pro. Like, I really was able to keep my anxiety at bay and, like, really control a lot of things that I had never been challenged to kind of take control of before, because I had this huge opportunity and everything within me just wanted to walk away really proud of what I did on that stage and with the show. And I really was. I was proud of myself for what I was able to accomplish and what I was able to endure during that time.
And I was so proud of you when you made it to the finals. I was so happy. I was one of the few people in the virtual press room that was jumping up and down every time I saw your face, and I was so happy that you made history as well. And hopefully there'll be more history glass ceiling moments break in the future with the show.
I really hope so because I felt like it was very impactful for me personally, but also for, you know, for Puerto Rican people from the Bronx. Like they took such pride in the fact that I had made it to the finals. Being a Puerto Rican girl from the Bronx, I never would have imagined if you would have asked 13-year-old Gina if she ever thought she'd be on America's Got Talent or on TV in that capacity. I think I probably would have just choked and said no. I would be so petrified. And that was really big for me and for a lot of people. And I love how much, the fans of the show and the fans of my comedy were touched and motivated and inspired by that, because if there's anything I hope to do, it's give that inspiration to people to know that they can do these big, great things.
And you have inspired so many people, Gina. And
Thank you.
right now AGT Fantasy League is currently on airing on ABC on NBC. Have you thought about returning to AGT to compete on another All Star if they did another All Star seasons? Why or why not?
I thought about it. And part of me misses the craziness of the show and the pressure and this is a performance night and the high stakes. I miss that. I miss, being with other artists and really supporting each other. Um, if I had the time, I would maybe consider going back, for the experience. It's a lot to take on, so with everything that's going on now, it's a bit too much for me to take on with everything else that's going on in my career, like tours and specials, and so it's a lot of my schedule. But if I had the time and I really thought the moment was right for me to return, I would love to see everybody again. I gotta see my boo Simon. I haven't seen him in too long. It's been too long.
I agree. We missed you on the season and on All Stars. So hopefully, fingers crossed that if all the planets and stars are aligned and your schedule
Yeah.
aligns, we'll see you compete again. Because I got to say this, we need a lot more humor on the show.
Yeah, we need a lot more comedians, and I would go back with the intention of really putting my all into letting a comedian get into the finals again to show people just how impactful comedy can be.
Absolutely. But however, we got to leave AGT and talk about like this past season. I was so excited for you when you announced on your Instagram that you were in this incredible Disney Plus and Hulu movie called Dashing Through the Snow. So, would you could you describe to my audience what attracted you to this film?
Well, what's so crazy is so the film's director, Tim Story, was, I guess, a fan of my comedy. And so he reached out to my team, or had someone reach out to my team saying, I would really like to see her for this role in this Disney movie. Not really knowing that I'm a Christmas nerd. I love Christmas. I'm ugly sweater wearing, giving gifts to everybody and anybody that I know, kind of Christmas spirit person. And so when I was approached about this project and I saw it immediately, I said, "Oh yes, absolutely. I have to go in for this. This is so my thing." And so we did the first audition with Tim and the casting director. And it went great. It went so great. It was one of those auditions where I walked away and I was like, I really am proud of how much preparation and work I put into it, because I really loved this project. And so when I got the call back, I was like even more excited about it. And I just kept telling myself, you got this role. It's your role. It's your role. So when I got the phone call that I actually got it, I literally just wept. I was so happy and so proud of myself. I just cried. And to some people, it might seem like a silly thing to get excited about, but I've always been a fan of Christmas and Christmas movies. So this was like such a dream come true for me.
And not only that, you're on Disney Plus as well, and you got to work with some incredible people. No one got there are a lot of
Yeah.
other people that they said that they worked with Lil Ralph Howery and Ludacris.
Yes. Lorel, I was, blessed to know him from stand up, actually. And he's such a wonderful human being. He's such a sweetheart of a person. And you love to see good things happen to good people. So it's so great to see how his rise to stardom has been, because he's always just been a solid, funny comedian and just a great human being. So to get a chance to work with somebody that I already know and like was incredible. And then to work with Ludacris, who, like, such a fan. And he was very humble and hardworking and dedicated, and it was nice to see the person behind the celebrity. You know what I mean? That person that's like working really hard and putting an effort in and really cares about the quality of the work. So I thought it was very endearing to actually get to see somebody put so much work into this project the way he did. He let, we were ad-libbing a lot during the movie, like me and the guy who played my husband, Sebastian Sosi, and my, two kids. We were able to improvise so much, and Luda encouraged us. He was like, please keep going, like keep like let them do their thing. And so that was really nice, and it was really sweet. It was a great work environment. I love everybody involved in that project. Will Packer, Tim Story, and the cast and the crew. It was I lucked out. I lucked out because AGT was a beautiful cast of people. This was a beautiful cast of people. I have no horror stories. I have none. I have none.
And that's amazing. And that's amazing. It's amazing I can work with an amazing group of artists.
Yeah, it's very lucky. I felt very lucky to be with a good, solid group of people that all had the collective goal of just making this project amazing.
That's awesome. So we got to talk about stand-up comedy. So you're hosting a 1-month stand-up comedy show. And I got to say this, I'm very excited you're helping people teach the next generation of comics to go out and perform. So why was it important to you to be one of the people that say, hey, I want to help the next generation and find the next generation of stand-up superstars?
Well, I've always loved comedy. I've always been a comedy nerd. I love the artistry of stand-up comedy. But it takes so much to survive in that industry and to be successful. And I know for myself, I was lucky enough to have mentors coming up that were willing to talk to me and guide me and protect me in certain ways. And so once I started teaching stand-up and doing, like, I do classes and I do private lessons, it's mainly to help usher people through a difficult business and keep them focused on their goals and figure out what their goals are, because that was something that I was lucky enough to have with the people that I came up with, but not everybody is. So I just wanted to give that to the people who may not have it directly available to them, the ability to ask questions, to work things out, to, have a space to just discuss the difficulties that they've had navigating through the industry. And I think it's important to give people that time and that space, and also award them with some, like, mentorship and be like, hey, I may not know everything, but after 20 plus years in the industry, I definitely have some valuable advice for you.
And I really hope your students pick up on that advice, especially like I bet you work on a lot of material, and hopefully, do you have the same you have different comedians with different points of views? Do you rarely see in your class they all have they have all different points of view?
Well, I mean, they will all have, sometimes people have similar points of view if they come from similar walks of life. Like if you have two people who grew up in very affluent families with very affluent neighbors and in affluent neighborhoods, they often share similar perspectives because they lived a similar life. So in that case, it's about finding their personal perspective and really sharpening it so that it doesn't sound like everybody else's perspective who came from that walk of life. You want people to connect with what you're saying, so you want people to know, oh yeah, I have that same kind of walk in life. But when your personal point of view comes in, they should be like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So it's really about sharpening that personal point of view on what you're saying so that you don't sound like anybody else. Because there is such a thing as parallel thought, because some of us do live very, very parallel lives. So more than anything, it's about really pinpointing what your point of view is and how it's different from everybody else's.
And that's incredible. So this year you have a lot of tour dates. So what can your audience expect from your tours?
Whew. Well, I'm currently working on my fifth stand-up special. So uh, that's exciting, and really it's a culmination of what the past 3 years has been like. So a lot of it is just the struggles that I've had in my own personal growth, like my own therapy journey, my growth as a parent, my growth is even in my relationship with my husband, and these different things, because I think, you never stay the same person. There's always some growth or some change with each year that you have different experiences. So you're going to come in, you're going to see how I've grown and where I've gone to. And even in my comedy, what I talk about is so vastly different because I in a different place in life. So it's a journey that I hope people enjoy coming on with me.
And I've been a part of that journey since you first stepped onto that AGT stage. So I'm very excited to see you grow, and cannot wait to see you perform live, especially because I saw that you're coming to my hometown of Overland Park, Kansas at the Johnson County Carlson Center. So I'm very excited.
I'm really excited too. I've been to Kansas before, but never that part of Kansas. So it's a first for me, and I'm going to have a blast. I already know. So I hope the audience comes out ready to have a good time and just ready to kind of cut loose. I'm very silly and playful, with just a little touch of, some depth and some, little bit of therapy and throughout my comedy that helps people kind of deal with things. So I'm looking forward to it big time.
Awesome. So we got to talk about social media. So what have been some of your favorite social media apps that you connect with your fans?
I love Instagram. Instagram has been my solid. I feel like there's a lot of back and forth with people on Instagram. Um all social media can be at some point problematic in terms of trolls and negativity on there, and how you deal with that is always very important for your own mental health. um TikTok, I've had a great time on TikTok. I have good numbers on TikTok. um it's such an experimental thing for me, TikTok, because you can do so many things. It started out where you could do like little clips of dance moves, and people were doing choreography on there. And then it became lip syncs, and now it's so much more than just choreography and lip syncing people's audios. But I found traction through a lot of people lip syncing to my comedy audios, and it just people started following me because like stuff was going viral, and I was like, oh wow, this is great. People really have taken to my material. And then there's always the people that don't, and for those people, that's fine. You can just scroll past, not subscribes. I don't need your negativity. But for the people that love it and have been so supportive, it's been incredible. Like the love and support from the TikTok community as well as from Instagram. So those are my two big ones. I'm rarely on Facebook. Um Facebook got a little too messy for me, so I'm very rarely on Facebook. Uh so if you're trying to communicate me on there, switch over to IG. Uh and then, just those are the main ones I think currently that at least I know of are, TikTok, IG, and Facebook. So I'm mainly on TikTok and IG.
Awesome, awesome. So later this year, a new set of hopefuls will audition for Simon, Sofia, Heidi, and Howie on AGT's 19th season. If you had the opportunity to meet with several contestants and said, "Hey, wait a minute, I have this opportunity to head to California and sorry and compete in an audition for in front of the judges," what advice would you share with them?
If I could share some advice with them, it would be one, to be your authentic self. Don't try to fit a mold that you think is already on the show. Like, oh, I'll just do what I've already seen on the show in the past. No, be original, be your authentic self, because I think that's what shines on that show is authenticity. Um, and just know that whatever the outcome of the audition, it doesn't make or break you in this industry. It can set a new goal. Like whether the audition goes good or bad, set the goal that whatever happens, I'm going to be proud of myself for even daring to be this bold and this brave, because it's a huge thing for you to do for your career regardless of the outcome. So just enjoy your bravery.
True words, and I cannot wait for anyone that's listening to this and is auditioning for season 19. Good luck. I cannot wait to see you guys on my screen. So we got to start winding down our conversations, Gina. So, Gina, can you please remind me where my audience can get tickets to see your show, connect with you on social media, and also see Dashing Through the Snow?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, you can check out Dashing Through the Snow on Hulu and Disney Plus, and please do big ups to Little Rel and Ludacris, and my family, the Truckles. Please check it out. It's a fun holiday movie, and if you're a Christmas nerd like myself, you're welcome because it's very fun. On social media, you can find me at G Brillon on IG and at Gina Brillon on TikTok. And check out my website, ginabrillon.com, and find out if I'm coming to a city near you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Guys, have you missed an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast? Visit our channels on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Spotify, and Spreaker. It's Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. Now, are you on social media? Because I'm on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube. Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. Now you can listen to my original interview with Gina and go see what's going on with America's Got Talent Fantasy League on jakes-shake.com. Once again, jakes-shake.com. Gina, thank you so much for taking time on your schedule to talk with me today. I'm so proud of all of the work that you've grown. I cannot wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the support.
You're so welcome, Gina. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, have a great one, everybody. Goodbye.